Hey Pete, how did Rashad, Quentin, and Greg look in practice this week, and you plan to activate any of them for this
Shaq,
game?
Quinn, Craig, all those guys practiced this week and made it through the week. Um, so we have some options, and we'll let you know.
Thank you.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, how are Brandon Shell and Carlos Dunlap doing? I know they're fighting stuff this week, but how have they come through and are they close to making it for you?
We held Brandon out again today, and but Carlos did practice today, so that was a good sign for him. Hopes that he'll be able to pull it off to play in the weekend. We'll see. I can't tell you yet. I won't know till really on game day, on both those guys.
Michael Sean?
Hey Pete, when Quentin's ready, whenever that is to play, does what happens at nickel with DJ and Ugo?
Well, why would I have to divulge that now? There's no way. No, I know it's fine. It's a fine question. I got nothing for you. Okay. Yeah,
I know,
you deserve another one. Sorry.
I know he's not eligible to come back yet, but how's Trey Flowers doing?
Yeah, he's excited to get back. He thinks he's ready to go. So we'll look for him next week, and he'll have to work his way through it and show what he's capable of doing and all that. But I know he's pumped up about it.
Thanks.
Matt Calkins?
Pete, DK's 108 yards away from breaking Steve Largent's 35-year-old single-season receiving record for you guys. Just curious, just being in his second year, what do you think about the prospect of him doing that? And would there be a game ball for him if you were able to break that record?
I never should have told you guys that. Dang. First off, he's got a good chance now with 3 weeks to go, and it'd be hard to keep him from getting that. But that's not something we have to be concerned about at all. It's going to happen if it happens and all that. So, but no, about the game ball thing, I never had the pre-thought that I would do that then, and then I don't have one now. So I don't have very many pre-thoughts. Matter of fact, I don't even know what pre-thought means. But what would be pre-thought, Dave? I don't know. I don't think that's a concept we can hold on to. Next.
Chris Francis?
Hey, Coach. Dwayne Haskins seems to be the guy on Sunday for Washington. Your thoughts on him as a young player? And then on a related question, what was the conversation on Monday like about the dropping of the interceptions? Was it ribbing? Was it, hey, we got to have these? That kind of thing.
Yeah. First off, on Dwayne, we've had a chance to see him play again. He got in last week, and he played early in the season. He was a tremendous athlete and got a great arm and all that stuff. And he's grooming to be a big timer. As far as there was much to do about ribbing, about the interceptions. Yeah, there was much to do about that. It's unfortunately for those guys, it's been shown on film way too many times already this week. So.
Bob Condotta?
Yeah, Pete, if Cedric ends up having to play at right tackle, what have you sort of thought of him and how he's played so far this year and all that?
He's a fine athlete. He's got all the physical stuff that he needs. It was really good for him to play in that game and play, just to get comfortable with the game speed and all of that. I think he's got a tremendous upside, and so this is going to be a great challenge for him to play if he does, and he's going to have to play really well and all. But he is really capable. He's got a great future.
One other, the 49ers announced they'd have to play the game against you in Glendale, Arizona. I guess just any thought on that at all? Does that matter
Sunday?
in any way?
Sunday?
No, I mean 2 weeks from now, but at the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, wherever. Nah, we've heard about it, yeah, but we've been both places, so it won't matter. It'll be confusing, and the end zones might be the wrong color and stuff, but other than that, we'll be all right.
AJ McCord?
Along the line of Chris's question, obviously the Washington football team did not announce that Dwayne was probably going to be the quarterback until today. How does it change? Does it change the way you approach the next few days, or how do you flip a switch like that when a quarterback gets announced 2 days before the game.
Yeah, we have enough background watching them play that they don't their offense didn't change, and it's basically the same stuff. So we're expected, I'm sure he's come right along with as the season has evolved for them, and so it doesn't change us. We're going about it in the same manner, and we'll see and have to be ready for the things that they might alter, but other than that, we're going to expect them to be doing what they're doing.
Brady Henderson.
Pete, the field in the actual turf in Washington does not have a great reputation. What have you heard about just the state of that, and how much might that impact your decision with Penny and other guys?
It doesn't impact our thinking at all, because we're into pre-thought thinking anyway. So yeah. But that's Eric Kennedy is in charge of all that stuff, and he's telling us that we're okay, and he knows what the footwear needs to be and all that stuff. So we're really kind of under his guidance. If we're really thinking about pre-thought, I think we should go to the West Point think tank and see what can you come up with to give us what is pre-thought.
Pre-thought is too nebulous of a concept for the military, Pete.
Okay, good. I get it. Maybe Art could handle it.
Let's not get started.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yes. What is your pre-thought on the Pac-12 championship?
I don't think we're qualifying for that, but maybe a couple more wins and we can get in that tournament too. That'd be fun. What are you asking me about the fact that Oregon's playing SC? Is that yeah? Well, we're talking about strawberry cheesecake is at stake, so there's some big stuff on line here. So Ugo better pay up. So I just want you to know that there's something going on here.
He's on the hook to you?
You bet he is. You bet he is. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I'm really fired up for SC. They've really battled through this season, and they've won some great games at the end and finished really well. And it's been a really tight season for them. But it's great to be unbeaten.
Joe Fan.
Do you guys both get a slice of strawberry cheesecake? Is that the wager for both sides, or is that just what you're getting?
A slice. I'm counting on a whole thing.
What does he get if Oregon wins?
That's what I'm giving him too.
Okay.
He hasn't asked for much, so it's just cheesecake. So.
Got it. Is there a chance for all three of those guys, Dunbar, Penny, and Olsen? Have you ruled any of them out at this point?
Is there a chance? There's always a chance, right? That's great. Great guidance right there. Yeah, there's always a chance.
And then we're a couple weeks removed from Darrell Taylor's knee injection or leg injection. I'm curious if you have any update there.
I really don't have any further update than we're just kind of waiting and seeing. We don't know. He's here with us and all that, but he's not able to do a lot of stuff right now. And next week we'll start all over again. We'll see what happens on really Monday with the trainers, and we'll see where that takes us. I felt like I was kind of babbling there. I don't have a good answer for you. It's kind of unfortunate. It's on
You say
hold.
start all over. What does start all over mean?
Well, we'll start over with reevaluating whether he can work during the week, and we'll see what happens. Let me say this: it has been a really good week for us in terms of all of the guys that have been, kind of on the margin, whether they can get back or not. And we're excited about the fact that guys were able to work this week. So we do have some choices that we're going to make. I can't give them to you because I don't know how they're going to get finalized yet. But we have some options, and so it's a good thing for us going into the weekend.
Greg Bell.
Pete, talking about SC, can you imagine trying to get through a COVID season in college football in what Jimmy Lakes had to do at UW and corralling 105 guys on a campus and all of that? I mean, you've had your challenges enough with 53 that are.
Yeah, no, I have spent some time on that, just trying to imagine, how it depends on what's going on the campus, and are the campuses wide open and all of that, and or they have limited amount of students and all. But either way, it's that would be just as difficult as it could get, and this is so important that guys have routines that they can really control. And if you're living in a dorm, or and I don't even know how you could ever do that. Coming and going, and elevators and all the rest of it. Those are all nightmare situations. And so that's why there's been so much turmoil throughout the college season. So many teams have been back and forth and all of that. It couldn't be more difficult.
And then one on Will Disley and his pass blocking. It's something that Chris Peterson really never asked him to do. It changed the position and all that at UW. What have you seen at him in pass protection, and how much you can depend on him?
That's a good question. He's worked hard at that. It's been it's important. He isn't a pass protector all the time. He's a sometimes guy, and when he is called on to do it, he's usually got the guys that are on the edge that are flying, and so it's a big challenge for tight ends. So we do try to mix that so that it's not predictable, so that he can have an edge when he does and all that. But he's strong. He's got a good base about him. He's worked really hard technique wise, and he's got great competitive nature, which is really, it comes down to that finish. Last shove on guys to keep the QB clean so often, and Will's a real battler at it, so he does a nice job.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, Travis Homer's been out like a month for you guys now. Where's he at, and what's his situation? And then with Jamarco and Phil Haynes too, where are they kind of dealing with their issues, and how's their outlook?
Yeah. All three of those guys are in long-term situations. We're going to work at figuring out what to do next with those guys. Homer had a couple injuries. He had a wrist where he cracked a bone in his wrist, and he also had his knee that bothered him too. So it's been a long haul for him to get back. So we're working on what's going on with those guys, and it's a little bit gray area right now. If you could just hang on for a couple days, it'll make more sense.
We saw you were bringing in Alex Boone possibly as a practice squad add. Is that part of the process there, and the familiarity with Solari from San Francisco has to have some?
As far as Alex is concerned, yes, yeah, and we're anxious to see. He's turned around his thinking and wants to play and all that, so we're anxious to see what he looks like. You saw that we brought in a couple kids. We're really trying to build some depth there. It's been hard for us with our guys being banged up, so it's going to turn a little bit when those guys get settled, and that it's going to help, because it's been pretty thin here as we rest guys and prepare guys and help guys that recover from 1 week to the next. So we're looking for some help.
All right, thank you, everyone.
See you.